Okay, now let's take a look at this extra top bars. Just move the way. Let me just place it at the right location. There you go. Okay, so here you can see that this is an extra top and it starts at the bottom right over here and then it goes up right over here. So this is actually an extra top, and this is that 112mm dia extra in each gap. We'll understand what this each gap means in a little while. But first, let us understand why are there extra tops right over here and right over here as well. So you can see that here is another extra top. There are two extra tops right over here. So this extra top is 112mm extra top in each gap, same as this one. And then there's another extra top that is 110mm extra top in each gap, which is this one. So the extra tops here are given due to moment, because the moment at the negative moment at the joints of the stairs are really great. So the greater the moment, the greater the reinforcement there must be. So here we can assume that the moment here was lower than the moment right over here. That is why we just needed 112mm extra top, and in here we needed two different extra tops right over here. So what is happening with the moment is none of your concern. It is the concern of the structural designer. Okay, but since the negative moment is at the joints, that's why the extra tops end at certain locations before the middle part. And in the middle part you can see that the bottom reinforcements are actually going up. The bottom reinforcements are there because the amount of positive moment right over here is more than the negative moment right over here. The negative moment is almost negligible, but the positive moment can be neglected in this middle portion of the stair. Okay, so now that we understand why these are placed, and if the structural designer thinks that only one extra would be enough at the bottom, then he will place only one. If he thinks there two are required, then he'll say there are going to be two, and if there are two required, three required, is going to be saying there are going to be three, and you got the idea. Okay, so let's see what this each gap means, right? It says 112mm extra in each gap. What is this each gap? So if I take a picture right over here, you can see that the gaps right over here say the spacing, let's see, let's take a color. Let's say the spacing from this bar to this bar is 6 inches. So similarly, all are 6 inches apart. Now if we remove that, so the gap is actually the gap between this bar and this bar. So in the middle portion, we're going to put in the extra tops. There you go. The extra tops are going to come in here, and then at the circuit location before the middle part are going to be hooked right there. That is going to be true for all the gaps in between. There you go. There we go. There we go. All the gaps are going to have this extra, because it says in the gaps, and they're going to be from the downwards as well. So if we consider the downwards is going to come from there, from there, from there, and I think you got the idea. So let's go back here, and so now you know how they are placed and what this each gap actually means. And in the next video, we're going to talk about this distance right over here, the 3 feet distance that you can see right over here. Okay, thank you very much for watching.